Okay, so as you can see, I have nothing. I delete everything here. No event, no handler, nothing. So the first step I need to do here because I want to save my data, I don't have a backend. So to save my data here, I need to create a file, and this file, we name it db.json. So it will be db.json like that. Do I have db.json? I already have db.json here. So I need to create this file db.json, and here I will put an object. Then I have to do like that, and inside it I will have an array. I'll share this data with you already. Voila. Fine. So I have this data, which is nice. Now I need to go to package.json here, and in package.json I need to install this guy here, which is called JSON server. Also, I've shared this one, I've shared command with you, npm I json-server. Now I need to add one script here, and this script here, I will name it server. And in server here, I just need to add JSON server, JSON-server. I need to watch my database, which of course I need the flag, it will be watch, and it will be db.json because the name of my file is db.json. If I want to specify any port, I can just say -- port, and I'll make it 3000. If I don't want to specify, I think by default it will be 5000. So that's my commands, that's everything okay. So I will just run now my server, npm run server. If I run it here, and here is telling me that it does not exist or something like that, simply because my node version, and now it's old version here, it will not work. I need to use the other one. So nvm, use 20. And if I use the 20, when I say npm run server, it will work. Voila. And as you can see here, my server is running, and it will give me the endpoint here. Now, if I held command on Mac and click on this one, or control on Windows, and I click on this one, it will open my server. As you can see, everything inside this one here, it does exist on my server, and my server should be running all the time. I should not cut it. If I cut it, I will not see the changes. If I want to close my server, I will just type Control-C and it will be closed. It's telling you here, please Control-C to stop. That's fine. My server is running. That's my data. Everything is fine. Now, what do I want to do? Well, whenever let's just get rid of this one. I'm going to open this one in my live server, which include nothing for now. I'm just going to put it here. I'm going to open my DevTools. Refresh. Okay, let's first go to my index.html. In my index.html, I have nothing, so I'm going to create a div with class container. So I'll say div with class container like that. In the class container here, now I need two things here. I need an input, so I'm going to create an input. And this input, it will be type text. So input type text. And I'm going to give it an ID just so I can select it. If you have a question, interrupt me. I need a button. So let me add my button just ID, either add or button, whatever you want to. I'm going to give it ID btn. And after that, I need just a container for my to-do. So let's name it list, for example. It's fine. I will just div with class list, just like that. So I'm going to put all my to-do in this list here. Of course, and now I need to select my DOM element. To select my DOM element, I need to go to source. I need to go to DOM. And now here, I will just say const DOM. It will be equal to. Now, of course, I have for the input, I have an ID. So I will just name it input as well. Input document dot get element by ID, and the element, the ID is input. Same for button. So I say btn get element by ID btn. Now for the list here, I cannot use get element by ID because it's not an ID. Either I'm going to give it an ID or I'm going to use just query selector. And query selector here, I need to pass a dot because it's a class. Voila. And now all I need to do, I need to export my DOM. And I'm exporting my DOM. Voila. My DOM is finished. Now, what do I want to do now? I want, when my page is loaded, I need to fetch all my to-dos from my server here. We currently have 3, and I need to show them. So in order to do so, and I need to know what's the event. So the event here, it will be load. So here I can just say load event. Are you with me, or I'm explaining for myself?
We are here.
Okay, const load event. So load event here, of course, the load event is normally on the window. So all I have to do, I can just say window dot add event listener, and the event, it will be load. No, I need this one, and then here it will be load. And when I load, I will need to call my handler, and my handler, the name will be, I'll name it load handler. Load handler, like that. Okay, that's fine. I just gonna export my event, and I need to import it in init. Let's go to init. Let's import my event here. And now here, all I need to do, I just need to execute it. And here it will be load event, and voila. That's fine. My load event is okay. Now I need to import this one handler, which I don't have, so I need to create it. Load handler.js. I'm gonna just create a function for now. Okay. And for now, let's just log something just to make sure it's been connected correctly. So I need to export it. Of course, I need to say exp load handler. Of course, the load handler, now I need to import it inside my event because I need it inside my event. So here, what I need to do, import load handler, and voila, should be good. So now if I go to my stuff here and I refresh, as you can see, the page has been fully loaded, and that's mean here my handler is working. Well, in reality, I don't want to log this one. What I want to do here in my handler load, first I need to fetch my data. Fetch all to-dos. After I fetch all to-dos, I need to render them. And that's it, render to-dos. So to fetch these to-dos here, I need to create, of course, an API to get all to-dos. And in order to do so, I just need to create a new file, and I say get to-dos plural .js. That's fine. Here, I just need to create my function, which will be const get to-dos like that. Of course, it will be async because I'm planning to use await. And here, I'm just going to export it directly for now. exp get to-dos. Fine. I've created it. Now I need to import it inside my handler. So let's go to my handler, and I need to import it here. So let's import my import. I will need my DOM. Why? Because simply I need to append it in the list. So I need to import my DOM from /DOM.js. What are you doing? Stop. Stop, Papa is working. It's not util, it's DOM. DOM.js. Okay, I need now to import my API as well. So I will import. It was get to-dos, and that should be okay now. Fine. So get to-dos here, I need to create my function, of course. I need to start with try and catch. And after try and catch, I will have an error. I need to log my error in case there is an error. Voila. Now, of course, I will need the URL. The URL is that you can just grab this one, or if you go to your server here, it shows you. That's the index, HTTP ://localhost 3000/to-do. So to get the to-dos, I need to add /to-dos as well. So that's my URL. So all I have to do, just const response, it's equal to await. And voila, so as you can see, I add just my URL, which is good. And after that, because I'm getting data, I don't need to pass anything else. I need to check if first.ok is, if it's not okay, I need to throw an error, as you know. Voila. And the status is quite important, so I need to mention the status with status, and voila. Yeah, but I need actually, no, that's good. Fine. Now here, of course, if there is an error, I need to parse my data and then I need to return my to-dos here. That's all I need here, actually. Let's go to here and let's try now to fetch our data. So we can just say const to-dos or data, whatever you want to. It must be await because it returns a promise. Of course, I cannot use await just like that. This function must be async as well. And now it should be okay. Let's just check if we have our data or not. So I need just to log them. And let's go here. Let's go here. And as you can see, voila, I have my data here. My data is an array. So all I have to do, I just need to loop through them. So let's try to loop through them. So in order to do loop them, I just say to-dos dot for each. And single to-dos here, it will be one to-do. So to-do, I will name it to-do data. And well, of course, it will be an object. Now, what should I do? For each, I need to create a component function to render this one. So I can just name here const to do it's single DOM. It's equal to create. I will name my function create to do. Not create to do. No, that's not what I want. Create to do. And here I will pass my data, which will be to do data. Voila. And of course, here to do DOM, it will return a DOM element. Now I can access the DOM, say DOM.list, .append. Or simply I can append now whatever it's returning here, and it will be to do DOM. Of course, I don't have create to do. And I need to create it in my component function. So let's create it. Voila. And const create to do is equal. Of course, it take to do data. And that's what I need for now. I just need to export it. And I need to import it inside my handler because here I need to use it. So I'll just import create to do. Of course, that's not correct. So // component / create to do.js. Now that's fine. Now let's go to here, create to do. What should I create? Well, first I need to create a container. So for each to do, I need a container. So container, let's name it this way. And here const, let's name it container. Div, let's give it an ID. You can give it a class if you want to. And let's give it an ID because I will need to give it an ID just to simply select it and delete it if necessary. Of course, the ID, it will be the same as the ID given my data. So to do data here, it will include ID, title, and completed. So that should be fine here. And now here I need to create my title. So let's create our title. Let's make the title H3 or H2, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna give it an inner text here. Inner text. Inner text, it will be to do data.title, and I want to give it a class as well, so it will be easy for me to select it if I necessary, or for styling anyway. So I can just say title dot. Either I can use class list, or I can just, if it's one class, I can use class name. And here, let's just name it title. That should be fine. Okay. I've created my title. Now I need to create a checkbox. And this checkbox actually, why? Because I need to make it as completed or not. So I need to create an input, and this input type here, it will be a checkbox. And of course, here we have a property which is called check. Check here, it's accept a Boolean. So checkbox.check, it accept Boolean, and this Boolean is coming from to do data.completed. So if completed is true, it will be checked. If completed is not true, it will not be, it will be unchecked. And here I need just to create one button here with delete button. And delete button here, I need just to create a button. I can add a class to it. And yeah, just inner text delete. And that's all I need. Now I need to append all the elements. So I will just say container dot append. I can append title, checkbox, and delete button, all of them. And yeah, so let's here. I'm not returning, of course, my container. So let's return my container. And now, as you can see, that's what I want to. So learn Java, that's my checkbox, and that's my delete button. Of course, if you want to use font awesome and not use delete, it's working as well. Now here I give this guy a class, which is to do. I just need to make some modification here just for styling. And let's just name it to do only. And here just to do only, because I changed the class. And now that should be okay. If I go here, yeah, I mean, they're not perfect, but that's fine for now. Okay, it's showing all my element. And if I go and I add any other element, it will show them automatically. So let's go to db.json, for example. Where's my db? Here, let's add another one, for example, just to make sure here. And here, for example, let's say learn C, which does not exist here. If I go now, I have learn C automatically, which is good. Fine. I've did this one, everything is fine. Let's close this one, let's close this one, let's close this one, let's close this one. Close all of those. Now, what do I want to do? Well, what I want to do, if I click on Learn Java, click on this one, this checkbox, I don't need to do anything in the DOM because the DOM is already showing me as selected. But what I need to do here, if I go to my data and refresh, all of them are false. It doesn't change nothing. So what I need to do here, when the user try to click on this checkbox, I don't want just to change the DOM. I want to send a request to my server, so it will make the completed for the item I clicked on. It will make the completed true. So it was false. I want to make it true. How can I do that? Well, I need to go to my component function because I create the checkbox here. And all I need to do, I need to add event listener. So I say checkbox dot add event listener, and the event here, it will be changed. So for the checkbox, the event is changed. And when it is changed, I need to now create a handler. Now the handler, I will just name it checkbox handler, for example, checkbox handler. Of course, I don't have checkbox handler. I need to create it. So let's go to my handler. I'll create a new handler and let's name it checkbox handler.js. Should be fine. So let's create it. Const checkbox handler. It will be an arrow function. And for now, let's just log something, anything. And now let's export it. Of course, now here and now I need to import it inside my component. Why? Because simply I am creating this checkbox inside the component, so I have no other choice. So we'll just say import checkbox handler from /handler checkbox handler, which is correct. Now that's fine here. Let's try to check it to see if that's correct or not. Now here, if I check this one, well, it's running, it's running, it's running, it's running. That's perfect. Very good. But in reality, I don't need that. So where is it? Where is it here? Yeah. So here in my handler, what I need to do here, when I'm trying to change something, when I'm trying to update an item on my server, I need the ID. So what I need to do here, I don't need just to call my handler. I need to pass the ID here. So what I can do, just a second, Command Z. So what I need to do here, I need to cut my handler. And then I'm going to pass an arrow function. And then I'm going to call my handler like that. And here I can pass my data, all my data, to do data. And let's save it this way. No, it's checkbox like that. I don't need that. So I'm passing my data, simply all the data. I don't think I'm going to need all the data. Actually, yes, I will need the data. Why? Because completed inside it and ID inside it. I will not need the title, but anyway, I'm passing all my data. Fine. Now, if I go to my handler here, my handler will receive the data, all the to-do data. And now what I can do, instead of logging this one, I can log to-do data to make sure it's correct or not. So let's refresh again. Now, if I check this one, as you can see, learn Java, I have the ID and I have completed. So what I need to do here, as you can see now, the completed is false on the server. So what I need to do when I click on it on the DOM, it become checked. So it should be true. So what I need to do, I need to send a request to the server to make also this one true. And so that should be simple, actually. So how can I do that? Well, I need to create a new data first because I'm trying to update an item which is already exists in the DOM. So first I need to create a new data. So const new data. Now in the new data, it will be exactly like the old data, with one change. So I can just say dot spread operator. That means it will be the same as the old data, but I will add one property, completed, and completed here, it will be the opposite of what completed in my data. So to do data dot completed, I want the opposite. So if it was true, I want to make it false. If it's false, I want to make it true. And the other property, the ID is that the title, it will be the same. I'm just overwriting the complete here or completed here. I have my new data. That's nice. I need the ID, of course, because I cannot update an item without an ID. So here I can just save the ID. If I will do const ID, it's equal to do data.id. So that's fine. And now here I need to create a new API. I have no other choice. So I will name it update to do.js. Voila, let's create it. Const update to do. And update to do simply here, yeah, it will be an async function. And here I will pass two parameter ID and new data. And in here, it will be the same idea we know so far. So first, let me export it directly. EXP, voila. Go away. Okay, now let's import it inside here. So I need to import it inside here because I'm planning to use it here. So I will just import and voila, update data from dot slash. I don't think this one is correct. So it is dot slash API update to do.js. Now it will be correct. Now, after I get the ID and like that, now I can just say here, of course, I'm planning to use await. Why? Because update to do, it will return a promise. So always the update to do, I'm passing the ID and the new data. I cannot use await if my function is not async. So I need to make this function async as well. And that should be fine. I don't need to update anything in the DOM. I can just use the structuring here, actually. You know what's the structuring, of course. So what I can do here, I can just round it by, voila, it's the same idea. So I'm just passing my ID and new data, and that's what I'm passing ID and new data. That's what I want to. So how this one will work? Well, I need to create a try and catch, as you know. If I have an error, I need to log it. An error like that. Voila. Of course, if I don't have an error, I can just say const press it's equal to await. And here I need to fetch my data here with ID, and I need to pass an object. Yeah, voila. So what the hell is this object? Remember, this one must be as the ID. So here I need to first specify what is the method. So the method, of course, it will be put. Why? Because I'm trying to update some resource here. And after that, I need to specify the headers, which will be an object, content type application/JSON, same idea. Now for the body here, I will just take the new data and I'm gonna turn it to stringify. So I will stringify it, body JSON.stringify, and that's all I need. After that, if res.ok is not okay, I need to throw an error. But of course, as I told you, I need to mention the status because it's useful. You can just say with status, voila. Other than that, what I can do here, I can just return. If, of course, if there is no error, I can return just simply res.json in one line. That's fine. That's fine. Now let's go to my handler and I'm passing my data. Everything should be fine, actually. So let's see if that will work or not. Now, if I refresh my data, all of them false, 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 false. If I go to here and I check this one here, well, let's see if learn Java has been changed or not. If I refresh, voila, it's been true. That's what I want to. And here, if C, let's try C. If I click on it, I refresh, and I go here, also refresh, and learn C is become true as well. We have two learn C, right? Oh, that's strange. Why do I have two learn C? Yeah, I learn C and learn C, so I have two of them. Maybe I learn Python, it will be better because Python is one of them. Click and learn Python. So now it's working. Let's go back and I uncheck all of them. Okay, let's go to my server, refresh, all of them are false. Perfect, so that means it's working. Now update to do is working perfectly, everything is fine, good. I should get rid of all of those. Now my function is working and my API is 2 of them. That's fine. Now what I want to do also, when I click on this button, which is delete, I need to remove this to do from the DOM, and also I need to remove it here from my server. So how can I do that? Well, first I need to know what's the event. So the event here when I click on this button. So I need to add an event listener to this button. So let's go to this button and try to add an event listener. So event here, let's name it delete event. If you name it delete to do event, it will be better, but anyway, delete event. So I can just say const delete event. It will be an arrow function. What the hell is going on? Let's get rid of this one. And I need my function. And here, of course, I need to export it. Why do I need to export it? Because I need to import it inside the init here. So import. Voila. And that should be fine. Of course, I need to execute it because it's a function. Okay, my event is nice. I have my event here. Now here, what I need to do, I need to select my button, and my button is inside the DOM. So I need to import my DOM. Import DOM from, that should be okay. And all I have to do here, I can just say DOM dot btn dot add event listener, and the event, it will be clicked. And when I click, I want to call my handler, which will be, let's name it delete handler, delete, which I don't have yet. So I need to create it. Let's go to our handler and let's create this one, delete handler.js. Of course, I don't have it, so let's create it. It should be an arrow function for now. Voila. exp delete handler. I need to import it inside my event. Delete event. So let's import it. Import delete handler. Well, that's what I want to. Now that's very nice, of course. What I'm doing, that's not right. Is it right? What I'm doing, is it right? Hello? Of course it's not right, because here my delete button is here. So I don't really need to do that. That's not what I want to. That's my delete button. So I need to add it here. Oh, very good. That means you are with me. Perfect. Here, I just need to delete to do handler. No, just delete handler. Because my handler's name is just delete handler, if I'm not mistaken. Delete handler, yes. Let's go back here. I need to import it here. Import delete handler. Voila. And actually, I don't need this one, delete event. And I don't need this one, actually. So if I go here, my delete button is here. So I need to add the event here because I created it here. And when I'm deleting, of course, I'm passing also the data. Just like when I'm checking here, checking the checkbox, the same for delete. When I click on the button, I will have all the data. In reality, I don't need all the data. I need the ID. I don't need all the data. I just need the IDs. That's it. So I'm just passing the ID. Okay, fine. Let's go to my handler, which will be delete handler, and I will receive the ID here. And all I have to do here, I can just log the ID to make sure it's working correctly. Log ID. Well, let's see. Now here, if I click on this one, I have 7cc, I have Sonoro, so I'm getting my ID actually, which is nice. But I don't really want to get the ID. I want now to delete the element here. If you remember when I'm creating to do, I give it an ID, and the ID here, it will be my data ID. So I can grab this div here, which will be the container. I can delete it simply. So let's go to our handler here. All I have to do, I just have to say, thank you. I can just say remove from DOM. And here it will be just document dot get element by ID, and the ID, I'll pass the ID and then dot remove. Now that's first. Second, I need now to send a request to delete this item also from my server. In order to do so, I need an API because I don't have delete here. So I need to create a delete to do. So let's create delete to do. Delete to do.js. So again, const delete to do. And to delete to do, it will be a async function. And here I need to pass the ID. The ID is important. And now all I have to do here, I just need to export it. exp, while I'm deleted. Just a second, guys. Hello? Guys, I need to go down for a minute and I'll be back, okay?
Okay.
Fine, so as you can see, that's my delete to do API, and I will need it inside my handler. So let's go in here, and that's my delete handler. I'll need it here, of course. So let's just import it. Import delete to do, and it will be dot/API dot, which is correct, .js. Now, what I need to do here, I need to use await, of course. Why? Why do I need to use await? Why do I need to use await?
Because you're using async.
No, because this delete to do here, it will return me a promise. Okay, now here, try and catch. And try and catch, of course, as you know, if I have an error, I'm just going to log the error. That should be simple. Now here, I can just say const response. It's equal to await. I'm going to pass the ID, and the method is delete. As you can see, I will check if res.ok is not okay. I'm going to throw an error, and it's a good idea also to add the status code. And here I will just say with status, and that's rest.status. Voila. If it's not the case, I can just return my data here. Just say return. I need to await actually. Here say await rest.json. That's great. So that's my API, and now I will go to my handler, which is delete handler, and everything should be fine. Now let's try to test it and see if that will work or not. So let's refresh. I have two learn C. So let's delete this one, and voila, it's gone actually. Let's go to here. I still have two learn C. If I refresh, I have one. So now everything is working perfectly. It's my DOM is being modified, and also my my data on the server is being modified, as you can see, and that's what I want. Now the last functionality here, I want to be able to add a new to do if the user click on enter or click on this button. And in order to do so, I will need two events actually. So the first event here, it will be add. Let's name it just is the event add to do. Let's just name it add to do. Add to do event .js, and the second event, it will be what? Enter. Yes, because I want to be able to add enter as well. Enter event. So I have two event. Both of them, they will have the same handler. But I mean, they are just two different events here. Here, I will click on the button to add. Here, I will click enter to add. So here for add to do event, I need the button. So I need to import my DOM. Import DOM. Voila. And then here I can just say const to do event. And in here, I'm just going to now export it directly. Of course, it's super simple. All I have to do now, I just say dom.btn. I name it btn. Add event listener, and the event, it will be click like that. And when I click, of course, I need to call my handler, and my handler, it will be just add to do handler. Voila, which I don't have, of course. So first, let's add our event to the init. I will import my event here, and it will be add to do event, as you can see. I need to execute it, of course. Voila. That's my first event. I remember I don't have the handler yet. I did not create it. But the second event, it will be the same because I'm using the same handler. So what I can do here, well, as the second event, I need to import the DOM as well. Import DOM. And voila. And here I will just create a function here, which will be enter event. So const enter event. Enter event. And enter event for now, let's just export it. Voila. And of course, because I'm exporting it, I need to import it inside my init. So let's import it here as we import. Import, and we name it enter event from .event /event enter event. Voila. And now I need to execute it. And that should be okay. No, now it should be okay. Fine, let's go to enter event. Enter event here, I need to add as an event on the input. So I will say dom.input and add event listener. The event here, it could be key press. I told you key press is duplicated, so maybe key up, it will be better. So when is here key up, of course, when the user just remove his hand from the keyboard, I will receive the event. And here what I can do, I need to check if the event.key is enter. If it's enter, then I'm gonna call my handler. And my handler is just the same as this one here, as you can see, which is called, where's my handler? I did not create it yet, but it will be add to do handler. So it's the same handler. That's fine. Let's create our handler. I need to go here, click, .js. And let's create a function just to make sure that our handler is okay, it's working. And voila. So let's log something, anything. Log to do handler. And let's just export it because I need to use it inside both event. Now here I need to import it here, of course. Import add to do handler, which is okay. And now I need to import it here as well. And voila. Fine. Let's now check here. My job in the event should be finished. Now, all I need to do now, I need to check my guy here if it's working or not. So let's refresh. Now here, if I enter any text and I hit enter, I should see something. And I add to do handler is running. That's good. Now here, the second idea, if I add something here and I hit in this button, also I should something. And I am doing here, which is great. So now what do I want to do in my handler? In reality, in my handler, I need to grab the value from the inputs. That's the reason why I need to import my DOM. So I need to import the DOM because the input is inside the DOM here. And I can just say const value to grab the value, which will be here DOM.input.value. And here, let's log the value. Of course, if the value here, you can say if it's empty string, or you can just make it simple, say if no value. Why? Because if the value is empty string, it will be falsy, and not false, it will be true. So it will return that means it will do nothing. And here, what I need to do here, I just need to log, let's just log something, the value here for now. So let's make sure it's working or not. Click, let's import here test, enter. and voila, it's good, it's working. And I can say testing, and I click on the button, and it's also working. And that's what I want to. Okay, now if the value is empty string, I will return, I will do nothing. You can show an error message and something like that. Now I need to create a new data. So I can just say const to do data. Now here I need two properties, the title, which will be the value, and completed by default, it will be false. That's okay. Now I need to create an API. Why? Because I want to post this new data or this new to-do on my server. And in order to do so, of course, I need to create a new API because now I have delete, I have get, I have update, but I don't have add. So let's add to do like that. Voila. Now I can just say const add to do, which will be a async function. And here I will receive the data, to do data. Okay. And voila. So what should I do here? Oh, it will be try and catch. And if it's error, I'm just gonna log the error. Voila. Just export it. And now I need to import it inside my handler, as you know. Where's my handler? Voila, I need to import it here. So let's import it, import. And add to do, no, it should be just add to do only. Add to do, voila. Dot slash API add to do, and that's what I want to actually. Let's make some space, that should be good. Of course, this function here, this add to do, it will return me a promise. So it's a good idea to make this function async as well, because I'm planning to use await. And now all I need to do here, I can just say await to do, and I can pass my data here. That's all I need to do. So I'm passing my data, and remember my server, it will refresh automatically. So I don't really need to change the DOM or anything. So it will refresh automatically, that's fine. Now let's go to add to do completed because we did not complete it yet. I need to say const response. Const response, it's equal to await. And now here, this is my fetch. But here I need to pass, as you know, an object. And in this object, I need to define the method as post, the header content type application/JSON. And here I will body, it will be just my to-do, the new to-do JSON.stringify. That's okay, that's fine. I need to check if res.ok is not okay, so I need to throw an error, else I can just, for example, return await res.json. And that should be complete, by the way. Let's click, refresh, and let's say learn. What do I have? Learn C++. I have C++. No, I don't have C++. So let's hit enter. And voila, learn C++, as you can see. And if I go to my server, refresh, voila, learn C++. And here, let's say learn. We tried enter, we did not try the button. So learn, we'll learn what? Let one. Lisp, for example. And here, if I say add, and voila, learn Lisp as well. And if I go to my data, voila. So everything is working, functioning good. Question? 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 It's the second time I'm repeating it. Do you have any question, guys? I'm gonna stop my server. Question?
No.